My parents christened me Susan Louise Craven. They never shortened it to Sue. Friends sometimes did. I've only ever been called Susie by 2 people. At work, my name's changed over the years. WPC Craven, DS Craven, DI Craven, and now DCI Craven. I am 32. I am white. I don't crack the mirror. I only mention it because it comes into this. So do the 2 people who call me Susie. I was promoted on Monday. It started on the Wednesday, 3 a.m.
DCI Sue Craven. How'd you do?
DS Watende Robinson. Nice to meet you.
And you.
The trouble with good-looking people is all the work. You have to watch you're not impressed just because they're good-looking, and then you have to watch you don't come over so unimpressed you're rude. Watende Robinson is black. That also comes into this.
Droylsden, yeah?
Yeah.
He sat forward, gripping the steering wheel. When he turned a corner, his tongue actually protruded a bit. Great. My new right-hand man is too good-looking, and he drives like a child.
Watende,
Yeah?
let's get there alive.
Okay, sure.
A patch of wasteland in Droylsden. A car, partly burnt out, crumpled into a wall. Officers grouped around the front like they're chatting to the driver. Only the driver's dead.
Here she is, hot off the press. DCI Craven.
Detective Inspector Terry Bird. Boozy face, empty smile. He's white.
File has got here quick, it's barely burned out. You're in good nick. Have a shufty.
The man in the driver's seat with his head thrown back was African Caribbean. He had dreads, tied back with a dread, in his 30s. I stared at him for a long time.
Nicked the car and crashed it. That's what it looks like to me. What do you reckon?
I want shots of everything inside the car and the boot. Tell the photographer to get all this stuff here. The pedals, feet, legs.
I said, what do you reckon?
I don't know, Terry. That's what investigations are for, isn't it?
We're stuck in sarcasm, Terry and me. He knows I judge him, so he spikes me. I know he doubts me, so I spike him back. It's the most reliable relationship I've ever been in. Hostility guaranteed, 24/7.
Do you think it might have been suicide?
I don't think he was driving.
How come?
I think the seat's pushed too far back for him to reach the pedals. Someone with longer legs was driving. Oh, maybe. And I think he played guitar. Long fingernails on his right hand.
Nice one.
9 o'clock that morning, I was summoned to see the governor, Detective Superintendent Richard Price. Pink skin, silver hair, buttons straining. The governor believes in me. That's one of the reasons I was promoted.
Yeah.
He also hopes I'll make him look good.
So, I want you to investigate the murder of P.C. Fenton. I take it you know who P.C. Fenton is?
Everyone does.
Well, a guy in Preston Nick, Roland Palmer, says he knows who killed him. Now,
I can't reinvestigate the murder of P.C. Fenton.
I overstated it. It'd be a tentative look.
I'm not qualified.
I understand. Tommy Fenton's murder was a very big deal. And 10 years on, it's still sensitive. Which is exactly why you are qualified, Sue. You've got the intellect to treat it like any other case. You'd be open, you'd be impartial.
I don't want to do it.
It's a chat with the prisoner. Probably come to nothing.
But if it doesn't...
But we owe it to Tommy's widow to give it a shot. And to put a state-of-the-art copper on it. Can't say no to that, can you?
No.
Oh, good girl. Take Terry if you like.
I had no intention of taking Terry Bird with me, so I went looking for Watende Robinson. I need you to drive me out to Preston Nick tomorrow.
Okay.
A guy called Roland Palmer says he's got information about P.C. Fenton.
The P.C. Fenton? Tommy Fenton?
Yeah.
The guy says he knows who killed him, but Michael Chambers killed him, right? Just got lucky in court.
That's the folklore.
Come on, the police van killed Michael Chambers' mum. What's a motive?
And he was found innocent. This is a routine follow-up, okay? It'll probably come to nothing. It's low-key. I hated his excitement. I didn't want people getting excited. I wanted it to go away. Terry Bird had me in his sights. He was looking smug.
So, I was right. The burnt-out car was stolen from sale.
Miles away.
Yeah. Looks like Mr. Dreadlocks went on a bender.
Possibly.
I'll have a look for local car thieves.
No, let's wait for the post-mortem.
Oh, it's mad to wait. Everything's still warm.
No, I don't want to assume that the victim is the thief.
You're getting it wrong.
You seem to be gunning for me to say this, Terry, so I might as well. You're working under me now.
Right. Because I didn't get promoted, because I haven't got a degree.
Have I ever said that?
You don't need to.
I took the Fenton files home with me that night. They smelt of dust. I spread out the paperwork on the rug in front of me. I started with the photographs. A young officer lying on the ground. The black of his uniform merging with the black of the blood he's lying in. P.C. Thomas Fenton. Another photo. Thomas Fenton alive and well. The kind of angel face you have to smile back at. Another photo. Another young officer. P.C. Ian Mackenzie. Darker. Sharper. Fenton's partner. Then I started to read. How Fenton and Mackenzie, emerging from an underpass on the Churchill estate 10 years ago, were attacked. How Mackenzie was knocked unconscious and saw nothing. How Fenton was stabbed and bled to death. How no one was convicted. And then I opened the drawer of my bedside table and took out a watch. Tommy Fenton's watch. I kissed it. Next day it was back to the dead man in the burnt-out car. The post-mortem and the lab results were in. I reckon the best way to defrost Terry Bird was to let him in on everything as soon as possible.
So, cause of death, internal bleeding. 5 broken ribs and a ruptured spleen. I don't think the car crash did that.
It doesn't fit with the impact.
Doesn't seem to. No match with the fingerprints so far, right?
Not so far, no.
No prints in the car, obviously. 2 burnt. But forensics found fibres and hairs in the boot which seem to match the victim.
You reckon Mr. Dreadlocks travelled in the boot?
I'm wondering if he was killed near where the car was stolen, stashed in the boot, driven to Droylsden and stuck in the driver's seat to make it look accidental.
I think it's a joyrider who got fried. The fibres match isn't definite. You said that yourself.
Well, let's pull out all the stops to get an ID on him and then we'll see, OK?
OK.
Later that day I was poring over the Fenton paperwork in my office. Something didn't hang together.
Terry.
Come in.
Missing persons. I made a short list. A couple of them were already reported missing this morning.
I scanned down half a dozen names and tripped up on one. Green. John Jackson. 31. British African Caribbean. Unemployed. Busker. I remember those guitar-playing fingernails.
Get me a relative for this one.
Are you opening up Fenton?
No.
Your desk clubbed in him.
Get me a relative for this one, please, Terry.
Wetende Robinson drove me to Preston Nick. When Roland Palmer walked into the interview room, the ceiling seemed to drop. Even seated, he dwarfed us. Roland Palmer's black. He was dosed up.
I've got something nice for you, and I reckon it's big enough to get me out. Will it get me out?
Depends what it is.
P.C. Fenton was killed by Aaron Trent,
Who's Aaron Trent?
the kid on the Churchill estate.
And how do you know?
I saw him just before, at Michael's.
Michael Chambers.
A load of us was round there. Everyone was talking about Michael's mum. How the police van killed her. Everyone was raging about the police. Aaron said if he saw a copper, he'd kill him. He took a knife out of Michael's kitchen and walked out the door.
And you saw that?
Just me. Nobody else.
Why didn't you say so at the time?
I was 13 years old. I didn't need to get out of prison.
You let Michael Chambers go to trial for a murder you believed Aaron Trent committed.
He got off.
You didn't know he would.
Just go and look in his jacket.
You think we're going to find Aaron Trent's DNA on P.C. Fenton's jacket?
And you could be a policeman one day. If I'm right about this, you can get me out, yeah?
When we got back, I reported to the governor. I told him Roland Palmer was dosed up and desperate, and I didn't have much faith in his information.
It's not going to break the bank, is it? A couple of DNA samples.
No, but Tommy Fenton's murder is a box of bombs. A black woman killed by a police van. As a result of that, black kids rioting. As a result of that, white copper killed. The dead woman's son charged with it. You know, if we open this up again, the only thing we might do is remind everyone what a mess it was.
If we get it right, and the public, all sections of the public see us doing that, what a boost. We can't recruit, Sue.
I still have misgivings.
OK. Well, I suppose I'd give it to Terry Bird. Bump him up to acting DCI for one job. Very different approach, of course.
I'll do it, but only if I can play it really close.
Of course you can. And don't be scared of it.
No.
Oh, and track down Tommy Fenton's partner, Ian Mackenzie. It's only fair to put him in the picture.
Sue, We got an ID on Mr. Dreadlocks.
Fantastic. You can stop calling him Mr. Dreadlocks.
His mum identified him. Yeah, you got lucky there. It was that busker. John Jackson Green. Apparently everyone calls him JJ.
Right.
You are reopening Tommy Fenton. It's obvious.
Is it?
If you need a hand, shout. I'd love to see someone convicted.
I can't discuss it, Terry.
No.
Back in the office, Retende logged every word like an eager scribe.
I want you to set up a meeting with Aaron Trent.
Are we doing it?
We're getting a DNA sample of Aaron Trent to see if there's any substance to Roland Palmer's accusation.
We're doing it.
And track down Ian McKenzie, see if he'll come in.
Everyone says Mackenzie's lost the plot. Has he?
No gossip, right? Incoming or outgoing. This is confidential.
That afternoon, I took myself off to see JJ's mum. I was looking forward to the thinking time, but the fire unit rang. They'd found traces of accelerant on the back seat of the car. It had been set on fire deliberately. My murder theory was holding up. When I asked JJ's mum if there was any reason someone might harm JJ, she said she'd been worried about him having a fit. He was epileptic. She said JJ had no enemies, no temper, no money. Then she said, I think it must have been racist. She was upset, so I stayed with her. Driving back, I called the lab and they said yes, an epileptic fit would show up on the brain, and yes, they could test JJ's body for that. When I got back to my office, Ian Mackenzie was there, wiry as ever, thinner maybe, his sharp face scowling at the floor.
It's not easy for me to be here, you know. I don't appreciate being left to soak up the atmosphere for the best part of an hour.
I'm really sorry.
The guy on the phone said come in ASAP. Was that you?
Yes, sorry, communication breakdown.
But I'm afraid you can't smoke in here.
If I can't smoke, I can't do this.
There's a smoke alarm.
Take the battery out.
I don't think...
I'll get it.
Thanks. I was with a mother who just identified her son's body and I didn't want to rush her, but... Okay?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I wanted to meet you to let you know there's a move for a tentative second look at the murder of PC Fenton.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want you to hear about that on the grapevine.
Right.
We wanted to consult you.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I've thought about it for the last 10 years and I still don't know what happened.
Sorry, it's the lab. Shall I...
Go on.
Excuse me. Hello, Lieutenant Robinson. Hi, yes, thanks for calling back.
Susie, what have you told him about Tommy and me?
Nothing.